pursuing CFA, you have done your CFA level 1.
Yes, sir.
Okay, level 2. Okay, so that is where the calculations part and all start coming.
Yes, sir.
Right.
So level 2 also, I gave level 2 last year, but couldn't clear because of the ethics. So there's a subject called ethics, and because of that, so I couldn't clear my level 2. So this
Okay.
year, I was supposed to give my level 2 again in June, but
Okay.
it got postponed because of COVID. So
Okay.
I know a lot about like derivatives, options, and everything, but in theory, it's all different, and when you
Yeah,
apply, it's
exactly.
totally
So because like, for example, in case if we check out the theory for options, they
yeah,
kind of say their options are right. You
yeah,
don't have any obligation. When you talk
right,
about futures, they say, okay, if you're buying a futures contract, you are getting into an obligation. But when
obligation.
it comes to real time, when we are trading, okay, so all these things are actually right in terms of somebody who is actually exercising the contract.
Contract, correct.
Right. So, but we are traders over here. So we are actually looking out for. We are actually speculating. We are kind of trying to capture the price moves to our.
Price movement, exactly.
So we. So theoretical part is all right, but and the people who actually exercise the contracts, they are actually following the theoretical part. But when we are kind of trading, so what we are looking out for is kind of to capture in the price moves and use that to our benefit.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
In June I started trading in equity, so that was
Okay.
pretty like simple, and I got good profits.
That's good.
So I entered in derivatives trading, and I think that was a really bad decision.
Mm.
So initially I started hedging my positions. Like I used to buy future, and then on the contrary, I used to buy put or call, like depending on my position.
So
So it was
you were not used to stop loss, like you were just kind of protecting your positions with a put or a call option.
yeah.
Okay. So what were you trading basically on? Like what was the cycle?
Uh, Stocks are basically initially I started trading in pharma only. So I started tracking farmers. So I didn't usually go beyond, like I chose sector and started trading in those stocks also. I
Okay.
didn't blindly like select stocks and started trading. So I used to read news, and then so it all happened. Then I came across your program,
Okay.
and what I really needed was a guidance to trade, because the knowledge is pretty much like I have read in theory also.
Okay.
So
Fine.
then I enrolled in your program, and I had a talk with one of your business associates also. So I
Okay.
told him that is there some way that I can directly,
Hmm.
like try
Get
to analyze. Yeah. So
perfect. Okay.
he told me it's
So
better.
I'll just tell you. See, I'll kind of tell you like, so somebody who was starting off, obviously equities would be the first preference. Okay, like in the sense like to get started off. Why? Because when it comes to equities, you can easily size your positions.
Exactly. Yeah.
In the sense, there is no this concept of lots is actually existing only with derivatives. So if you want
Yes.
to trade one quantity, you can do that. If you want to trade two quantities,
To
you can
quantity
do
you can
that
do
in case
that.
of equities. That means somebody who wants to just get his feet wet first before jumping into the pool, he or
Yes.
she can actually start trading with maybe 5 quantities, 10 quantities to understand if the systems are working good, if he is capable of controlling his emotions, and he's capable of staying disciplined in his setups. Okay. Now, when it comes to futures, also the same logics that we use in equities, right?
Yes, sir.
The logics of price action, we use it exactly the same way when it comes to F and O2. Now, the only thing is we are not, for example, when we are tracking levels in Reliance, so when we are actually tracking levels in ICSA, we are directly trading on ICSA. We are not trading on anything else. We are directly trading on ICSA.
Yes, sir.
Now, see, when it comes to a bigger capital, when once your capital kind of gets a bit more bigger, if your capital size is actually somewhat bigger, then futures are usually preferred. Why? Because like entering and exiting would be much
Is
more
easy.
easier because
Correct.
you are trading in lots, right? Now, so same logics in equities, whatever logics you use, the same logics can be used in futures also. Only thing is like you have to be aware of the expiry.
M M2M and expiry. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
you should be kind of be familiar with the expiry date. You kind of need to know what is the lot size. Okay, because
Yes, sir.
like now, like your position sizing would be different, completely different. Meaning like depending on the stop loss, Now
Oh,
you
yes,
can't
sir.
say, okay, maximum risk I can take is 3,000 rupee. That means you can't actually bring out any change in the lot size. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So same logics that you kind of use in equities, same logics can also be applied in futures. Now, when it comes to future, one more advantage that we have is we kind of get to see the open entry. Okay, I'll just give you a simple thing. Just have a look at this particular chart. I assume you would be able to see the screen now. Just a second.
Yes, sir.
So this is a chart of Nifty 50. Okay, like right now, what we are seeing is a chart of November futures. This is the contract. Right.
Yes, sir.
So now, if I kind of have a look, so where do you think there is a resistance in this chart? Where do you kind of think there is a resistance in this chart?
Resistance, so
Like the uppermost resistance that
yes,
you right?
sir. I think at sir,
Can I say there is a resistance?
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This point.
Yeah. So see, there is kind of a
Actually,
resistance over here.
yes,
Now,
sir.
yeah.
Of course.
Now, if I basically look at the candles that is getting formed at this point, okay, if I kind of look a bit more closer into the candles that is actually getting formed at this particular point, what I realize is the price actually touched this point once, it fell down. Okay.
Down.
Now, towards the end, the price actually touched this particular point. Again, it dropped down. Now,
Yes,
just
sir.
let's kind of have a look at the kind of candle that got formed over here. Okay, so
Okay, sir.
let's kind of have a check on the type of candle that is basically getting formed over here. So what I see is this particular. So this is a point, or this is a level from where the price has faced rejection once. Next time when I have a look at this level, same level, what I realize is some sort of a candle like this is getting formed, which is telling me that again rejection is happening.
Direction happening. Yes, sir.
Even though this candle actually tried to pierce up above the level, it didn't manage to do that. So large number of sellers came in at that point, pushing the price further down.
Yes, sir.
And that is exactly the reason we sort of have a candle like this.
Okay, so got it.
That is happening at a resistance level. So looking at levels, I realize it is a resistance from where price has faced rejection once. Now, when I look at the chart, look at the candle that is getting formed at that particular chart now. Now what I realize is something that is actually showing me a large number of sellers coming in at that point, that kind of candle is getting formed.
Okay.
Okay. So you can actually refer to this as a bearish pin bar.
Yes, sir.
Some people refer this to as an inverted hammer. So all these names are just for kind of giving it name. The logic is important, right? So what we kind of see is sellers are coming in. That's it.
Okay.
Okay. So price action is completely about this, like identifying levels, identifying the sort of candles that is getting formed. Now the bad part that we have over here is this was an end of the day, right?
Okay.
So today was Friday. Now based on this candle, I can't trade on Monday.
Monday, correct.
Definitely, I realize this is a level. I kind of pretty well realize that this is actually a level that is holding. But I can't trade based on this on Monday. Why? Because when it opens on Monday, now considering the volatility that is existing in the market, a lot of news is coming in. Based on that, market probably would open maybe somewhere up or somewhere down.
Somewhere down, true.
So now once again, I kind of have to wait for the market on that particular day. I would kind of definitely have to wait for the market to form some sort of a level from where I can actually understand, okay, this is acting as a resistance, and then probably you could check out for a breakout entry, or you could take out an entry based upon a retest, depending on whatever you are comfortable with. For example, today, so today's thing we'll see. So today the market kind of opened over here. So first candle got formed like this, then again an inverted candle is getting formed, which is basically telling me that probably sellers are coming in, but this is not a time to take a decision. Like this probably would not have been a time for anyone to take a decision because it's just the starting of the market. Market dropped down for a while. It didn't manage to break the day's low. Okay.
Low,
price kind of found difficulty to break the day's low. Now, post this, what happened is that from this point, price started picking up. Okay, price started picking up. It continuously picked up. Now, once the price actually breaks the day's high, so the day's high and the day's low definitely acts a significant level. Now, once the day's high gets broken, many people would have considered going for a long position, expecting the price to
long position, correct.
long position,
move up more.
Yeah, you expect it to move further. Now, when the price is actually dropping down, what we kind of see is the price never managed to break the day's low, which would kind of tell us that no, the price is not in a sentiment to pick up further. Right.
Okay.
So,
Yes, sir.
now the thing is, taking decisions during the market hours, that is what is important. Like in the sense, like after the market has closed, anybody could say, okay, I could have bought here, I could have sold here.
Yes, sir. True.
Now the thing is, like you should. So right now we are looking at futures. Okay? So you should kind of have a plan in your mind where, let's say that you are just checking out for the opening range breakout. Always you are actually checking out for the first 15-minute high, 15-minute low breakouts.
Okay.
Now you should have actually checked out for yourself how this system is performing.
Okay.
How this system is actually performing whenever you have tested it, let's say for the last 3 months, 5 months. I'm not telling you to kind of sit and watch for the next 3 months, 5 months. Data is available. You can look at the charts, you can study. And then you get confident for yourself. Okay, if I do this, I get this sort of results. Or if I do that, I get that sort of results.
Okay, sir.
Got it. Now, once you get that confidence, that is when you should start trading a system.
Okay.
Okay. Now, this is just one part. This is just the way how you look at the price. Now, when we kind of talk about price action, like what you are looking at is in this particular system at the particular or defined levels that you're watching. Are you understanding what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
at the levels that you are actually watching, what are the sort of candles that is getting from?
Okay, so sir, for me, sorry, sir,
Yeah.
but sir, like for me, I don't really know how to look into candles and interpret what candles are. So probably I'll study about it, like you said. What?
Okay, I'll just kind of tell you. Like, see, nobody can. So when we are born, we don't know how to walk, right? Start by crawling. So same way, nobody knows how to interpret candles when they get started, and nobody will ever complete learning how candles is going to behave, or nobody can actually say this is going to happen after this candle happens. No, we can't say that. All we can say is, okay, this sort of candles are getting formed. So probably what we kind of realize is that once the market slows down, after some time we have some abrupt move happening. Maybe our view. So once we enter the trade, kind of exiting out before your stop loss. Rather than that, what I did is, once the view, like you enter the trade with the view, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
the best thing to do is you wait for your stop loss, your target to get it. So that is what I personally find to be better. So what I realized is whenever, like at that time my views are going wrong, this market is completely moving against me. Usually the intensity of the move is pretty much high.
Okay, sir.
So I go for a counter side position on Bank Nifty too with the same risk reward ratio. So probably by the time Nifty hits my stop loss, Bank Nifty would have almost reached my target.
Okay.
So it would still be a 1 hour, almost be a 1 hour, right?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
that kind of approach that has helped me. So in the case of like your case, it is like Nifty and Pharma, right? So you
Yes,
kind of so if you're going for a long on Nifty, sorry, if you're going for a long on Pharma,
on pharma, short on 50.
No, since it is already inversely related, you probably would have to go for a long on Nifty.
Long on
I
Nifty
haven't
as
checked
well.
this thing. I haven't checked this thing for Nifty and Pharma, but
Pharma.
Nifty and Bank Nifty like is kind of working out for me.
Yes, sir. Actually, sir, I follow you on Instagram and Livelong Wealth also. Sir, I just see, sir, everybody trades on indexes only, like mostly. And I have never traded on index. So, like,
I'll tell you the reason. Okay, see, one thing about people trading on index is due to the fact that once you start getting comfortable with, see, it's not everybody trades on index. 60% of our members are trading purely on crude oil. They don't trade.
crude oil also. Sir, commodities are also so risky, but
Like, see, commodity is a good thing as it is open till late night, 11:30.
yes, sir. Yes,
Even
sir,
I
yes,
have
sir.
one screen for crude right now running. So commodities are open throughout. Okay,
Okay.
so it makes it a big attraction for working employees. Now,
Yes, sir. True,
when it
sir.
comes to commodity, somebody who is trading in crude oil, they usually track only crude oil.
Okay.
But now, somebody who tracks Nifty or Bank Nifty, they kind of have this tendency that stick on with Nifty and Bank Nifty. They don't have to look at other stocks.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Now, there could be some phases of time when the individual pharma stocks are not giving you moves.
Yes, sir.
So there are the beginning of the lockdown, right? Beginning of
Yes,
the
sir.
lockdown, almost like every single day there were good trading opportunities on Cipla, Lupin,
Yes, sir. Yes,
all
sir.
these stocks. Okay, like there were really good moves. Now, but now that sort of intensity is not there.
Because it has already gotten that resistance, it's very difficult to predict that will it come down or will it go up.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. It is risky.
So yeah, I'm not telling you it is not possible to trade on it. It's definitely possible. But if you kind of have, if you kind of but if you kind of have a favorite set of watches, you maintain it just like that. Along with that, you can add Nifty or Bank Nifty to your bucket, just like another additional stock that you could
Yes.
track daily, right?
Yes, sir.
So that'll kind of so rather than taking out different stocks every day, people kind of find comfort. Okay, I stick with this segment. I stick with this.
Yes, sir. It is easier also.
Now it'll kind of help you much more. Now I was talking to you regarding opening range breakout, right? You kind of check out for the day set. If you have to check
Yes.
out different stocks, it'll take you a lot of time. You
Yes, sir.
probably would
True.
confuse yourself. Now, if you're looking out this particular setup only on crude oil, or you're checking out this particular setup only on index, it takes you much more lesser time to get comfortable in that,
Yes, sir.
right? But definitely, getting started with stocks is the best thing. Why? Because you can easily position size, manage your risk the best way. Now, once you're comfortable with that, then the same logic. See, logic is almost same everywhere.
Yes, sir.
See, as far as my personal knowledge, price action is obeyed the best when it comes to forex. Okay, so forex is where we kind of see that the moves kind of tend to continue for longer duration of time.
Okay.
Post that, like we kind of see in index Nifty especially, and that is what I personally, my personal thing, and crude. Okay,
Okay, sir.
now, but that doesn't mean that you can't trade on stocks. You can definitely trade. Is completely depend on how you are getting comfortable with things. Now we have members who trade purely on SEAL. We have people who trade purely on Tata Motors. We have people who trade purely on India Bulls. Now they don't do that. India Bulls earlier, they used to trade only on India Bulls.
Oh.
Okay, people who trade on like some set of stocks that they're most comfortable with.
So because of the last months, I was so sure that I won't have trade in stocks only because one news and the stock goes down like so bad. It's
Yeah.
very,
So that is also there. Stock actually kind of reacts. Stocks are usually more emotional.
yes, yes,
So,
sir.
so that is it. Like the most emotional stock being Yes Bank. Now nobody kind of trades on it, but
Yes,
earlier
sir.
people used to trade on it. Why? Because you really don't know. Like if your view is right, like you can actually expect some pretty great moves.
Yes, sir.
Okay, but it's not something suggested. Why? Because it's like too much risk.
Yeah, yes, sir. The risk reward is not favorable.
Yep, exactly. So now when it comes to Nifty, Bank Nifty, and all, see one more thing. Yeah, one more thing I'll tell you. See, when it comes to Nifty, on average, the stop loss that I take is usually 20, 25 points, 15 to
Okay.
20, 25 points on average.
Okay, sir.
So that means position sizing is almost going to be the same every
Yes,
single
sir.
trade.
Yes, sir.
Number of lots I trade, if it is X in this trade, probably the next trade also is kind of going to be X itself.
Correct.
Not much of a variation happens. Same thing with crude. Like my average stop loss is in the range of 15 to 20 points, 20, 25 points. Same. Nifty and crude is kind of almost the same. Like the risk I take. So that is one more factor. So at some sort of time, you yourself will be capable of understanding which is working the best for you. Now
Yes, sir.
that completely depends on the individual. So like once he or she explores different things, that is when he or she realizes, okay, this is what.
I have been following you for like 2 months, and then after that, I joined the program. So that because I was very curious about the markets and trading, and I entered during lockdown. So there is like so many courses available and
Okay.
everything, and it is very difficult to trust.
See,
like
we are not a course provider, first of all.
what's that?
We are basically not a course provider. Like
Yeah.
many people kind of ask, like, why should we take this course from you? Like, so I don't deal in the course part, first of
Yes,
all.
sir, exactly said that. This is the only thing that I personally felt was the best because sir, I came across a lot of courses, like honestly, but everyone was just just teaching. Nobody was giving us the practical exposure and the knowledge that we need because like I know a lot of people who trade, like my friends also, but they have always have some mentor like
Okay.
who they sit with, who they ask for trades. So I like needed that mentor only
Okay.
after watching your courses and everything. So I thought that like this is the best one can get. So that is
So
why like
basically, like, see, what we kind of want, see, what we are emphasizing on is you are capable of developing your own trading plan. Okay. See, logics are kind of, if you kind of honestly ask me, the logics are kind of pretty much the same.
this how.
So, whichever trader you kind of approach, see, maybe somewhere you would have actually heard this strategy is giving you 90% results. This
Yes, sir.
strategy give you 70. See, I can tell you, there is no strategy that is going to give you 90% result, or it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Only thing, see, maybe a week will give you results.
True, true, yes, sir.
Maybe for a week it will give you results, but for the continuous, like for your continuous trading career, it won't give you results. See, on average, a good strategy is something that gives you a hit rate of around 40 to 60 percentage.
Yes, sir.
Any strategy is going to give you a 40 to 60 percentage hit rate. Now markets are pretty much trending. You probably get 70 percentage, nothing more than that.
Yes, sir.
Now, only thing that is going to help you is your risk reward ratio. Okay, so every time you win, you should kind of be making double of what you risk, and every time you lose, you should be actually losing just a fraction of what you have been capable of winning in that particular trade.
Yes, sir. So, sir, like for in October, it was like opposite for me only.
Okay.
And the one thing, that one mistake I did was I carried options for too long,
Okay.
and like I traded in options, so I know that option like you shouldn't buy options in the last week because of that premium decay.
Hmm.
So I didn't trade any options last week, but all of my positions got carried away till the last week.
Oh.
So I was like the market will go up, it will go up because I was like analyzing and from my like everything was showing bullish, but then pharma and Nifty.
So see, first of all, like see, option when you're buying option, especially I personally never take any overnight positions in options. Okay.
Yes, sir,
So
I did
option
that.
like I personally do it just for trading. That is, I identify a level where I can actually take an entry, I can take an exit.
Exit.
So based upon that, like based upon a stop loss, based upon a target, that's what I do for options. Now the thing is, overnight, what I do is just the weekly expiries. Okay, the weekly expiries I sell. So that'll be usually something. Have you heard about something called as an iron condor?
Yes, sir, I know
So
that.
we'll
Yes.
be getting into all those things. So where you kind of try to define a range within which the market could lie, and you kind of sell upon the same. If the
Yes,
market stays within the range, then you become profitable.
profitable. Yes, sir.
Okay. So over there, you also kind of keep a stop loss where you kind of are capable of limiting the maximum risk you are taking.
Okay, sir.
Your profit will be pretty much limited, but you can
But
actually,
the
yeah, your
risk
the
will also be limited.
probability is actually very high.
Yes, sir.
So in that particular case, your risk reward, the iron
Risk
condors I
reward
usually enter, risk reward is like 2:1. The risk is twice and the reward is one.
is one.
But the probability is pretty much high. Now, even though the risk is actually twice the reward, even if your view goes wrong, you are capable of kind of managing your position, and probably you will be capable of exiting it like 1:1 risk reward,
Okay.
right? But
Yes.
the odds of you going right is actually higher.
Okay.
That is actually something that is pretty much conservative in the sense doesn't involve much. So may I just ask you, like, how was your risk reward actually satisfied in options when you were trading options, where your risk reward actually being maintained the same way you are doing in equities?
No, no, sir. It was not.
So so you kind of have the answer of what probably went wrong, because
Yes, sir.
now if your risk reward was the same, then probably even if everything went bad, you probably would be still having half of the capital, but
Exactly, sir.
half of the profit still would have been with you, right?
Exactly.
So now you realize that already. So Ishita, like what I suggest you is you continue with equities for some more time. Okay.
Okay.
So basically, in another 2 weeks' time, we'll be getting into F&O. So till
Okay.
then, you stick with equities itself. Now, once you kind of understand price action properly in equities, you kind of check out for the normal like logics, right? Like breakouts, all these things. Once you get comfortable in equities, go ahead with futures. Then you can grow your capital. Now, let me just tell you something. Now, let's say that you kind of reach a stage where you are pretty much consistent. You're pretty much gaining 4% or 5% or 10% per month. Okay, 5% per month or 10% per month. You're continuously making that. Now you won't actually mind yourself in funding your demat further, like
Yes.
increasing your capital. You can
Yes,
do
sir.
that confidently. But whenever you are actually looking out to make 100% of your account and all on a month, usually what goes wrong is you will kind of have this mindset that okay, if you are going wrong, you'll be wiping almost when you're looking out for 100%, your probable downside risk is almost 50%.
50%. Yes, sir.
Right?
Right. Yes,
That
sir.
is your capital also comes down by 50%.
50%. Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes,
So
sir.
if something goes wrong, you're wiping out half of your capital.
Yes, sir.
So that doesn't give you, let's say that you have doubled your money 1 month, but next month you won't be kind of having the courage to add more fund into it because you know that if you go wrong, you will be actually wiping out half of your capital.
Yes, sir.
But a system like this where you are consistently making 5% per month or 10% per month, which you are consistently doing that, you would be kind of willing to do that because you realize, okay, my downside risk is somewhere like 2.5 to 5% or 5%.
Yes. Yes, sir.
So just think about building something that is sustainable in the sense long run. So you're 20, think about building this as a career to like till you're 50 or 60, as
Yes,
long
sir.
as you want to trade, right?
Yes, sir. Too.
So and this thing doesn't have an age. Like how like we our like eldest trading member is actually 65 years old.
Wow.
Okay. So he is using
Yes,
it as an exercise for the brain.
brain. Yes, sir.
Good. So think about making 5% every single month.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I think this is a very
Yeah.
good
Bring
setup.
bring down your risk in the sense like bring down your risk. Now let me just tell you like if you are a CFA who knows trading,
Yes, sir.
you are a CFA who does the real trading,
Yes, sir.
you have a very good income potential.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And
You
so plus,
exactly understand. Hmm.
what's up?
No, you exactly understand the things that you're learning.
Exactly. And so this was like this was my only motive. First, initially, I thought that because of the lockdown also. So my parents are very strict, like you don't have to go out anything. And I didn't just want to sit in the home and do nothing. And I graduated this year only. And
Okay.
my exam also got postponed. So
Where
that
did you
is like,
graduate from?
yes, sir.
Where did you graduate from?
St. Xavier's College.
Oh, Sensei. That's great. Okay, okay.
So,
Yeah.
so I graduated this year and I didn't want to sit, and all of my friends who got a job
Okay.
were nobody's job was starting.
Hmm.
So I and my exam also got postponed. So pretty much I was doing nothing. So I started doing many online courses also. I
Hmm.
started Python,
Hmm.
SQL, but then it was like I didn't really find it interesting. Like
Hmm.
I don't want code to do coding all my life. Like I want to know coding, but
Hmm.
it's something I won't do for all
Okay.
my life.
Hmm.
Then I started like I did this course on investment banking. It's
Hmm.
pretty nice.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I entered into markets, started trading, and plus there's my brother who trades. Like he's an option seller and he's a very big person. Like he has a
Okay.
capital of 100 CR. So
That
I
your brother. Where is he based out of, basically?
like we live in the same building, like
Okay. Your
Calcutta, I
cousin
think.
brother.
No, like we live in the same building, so we are neighbors. Like
Okay.
pretty
Okay.
like like that way. So then I start like he was trading, like he trades now. He started trading from his home only. So one day I went to his home. I was seeing his setup. It was really interesting.
Hmm.
Then I started trading in equity. Started. So I thought that I can make trading my profession. Like it's really cool, and plus you get the freedom also. But then he told me that you're just 20 and you have the knowledge, you have time, you can learn trading, but you can pursue it as your profession anytime.
Yeah,
So it's
exactly.
better to
That's
it's
definitely a good option. Like in the sense, like see, trading, like it's not like you study trading and then you get into full time trading. But you
exactly
should actually be doing something like you should be pursuing trading alongside. Then once
exactly.
you are actually pretty much confident with what you're doing, then you should get into full time trading.
Exactly. So then I thought that instead of I made up my mind that it is so easy. I'll just do trading only. It is so simple. You can do it from your home also. So my parents will also be happy that I'm not going out anywhere during COVID.
Okay.
But then I realized that I'm like I can study and then also I can pursue trading. Like there's no such rule that you can't trade like after
Okay.
college. So then I thought that probably I fund my preschool expense.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Okay,
So,
Shita. So I guess you should basically be focusing on equities for some more time. Maybe you could
yes,
catch
sir,
up
for sure.
sometime later. Okay. Listen, like
Yes, sir, so for
you
sure.
just update me your progress.
Yeah, yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, okay, Shita. So nice speaking to you. Like I got a lot of understanding about what do you say, like how usually people in their uh starting like
Yeah.
what all the thoughts go through their mind.
Sir, because it was so confusing because I graduated, there were no jobs, and my exam got postponed. Everyone was like sitting in their homes like idly. There's nothing to do. So you get more tense because of COVID also everyone is like you shouldn't go outside, you shouldn't do that job. So my parents not just my parents, like in generally everyone's parents became more cautious. They just sit in the home. I think it's very, very dangerous to do nothing.
Yeah, that's so good. Okay, sure. Definitely, I get to understand that. Definitely. So yeah, you just update me. Like maybe
Yeah.
sometime later we could catch up. So it could.
Yes, sir, for sure. Thank you, sir. And plus, sir, I think if you start trading like from 9, right?
Hmm.
So probably, if I think I'll just take some trade, I think I'll just text you my view, and
Yeah,
if
you
you
could
are free,
definitely share it on the Discord. Like we all will be very much active there.
yeah.
Yeah, like
So
I kind of don't use WhatsApp that often. Like it's
okay,
Discord that is used more often.
okay, sir. So I'll
But
text it
definitely
that
we can
Discord view.
see that. No issues.
Okay,
Okay, sure. Nice.
thank you, sir. Bye, sir. Take care.
Bye. Bye.